The chairman of the NCC, Winston Gypsy Peters, doing the honors there, and of course Cipriano will receive the top prize. But on the track, we have a ladies event as they go, tiny mites and juvenile ladies, they go 3 laps as well. So they are just taking their time as they come around. Certainly looking a little more relaxed than the men were. The men were speeding from, even when they were doing their warm-up lap to roll across. They come for the official start. Here the ladies are a little less anxious. And of course the bunch isn't as big as we saw the men, which forced some of them maybe to panic a little bit and try to get into position early.
DJ. Calling to the prize rostrum very quickly. Miss Lonely Bailey of Madonna Wheelers. Back to you, Donald. We have the cyclists out there in front out of Bricktech Sonics with 2 laps to go.
With 2 laps to go, number 232. That's Ryan Shepard of Bricktech Sonics. Lady, as they go around, but they have been, she's straight away. They're coming for the bell. DJ, give me something low. With 1 lap to go. Number 510, accelerating, looking very good. That's Ariel Greaves of Bricktech Sonics. But look at the ride up for Multisport. And here comes Madonna Wheelers as they head down the back straightaway. It is Multisport from Madonna Wheelers. Multisport from Madonna Wheelers as they come around. Will she be able to hold on? Multisport holding on. Madonna Wheelers rushing over the top. But it is number 221 of Vaporweight Multisport, Kyra Williams, taking the victory in the women's elite, the women's tiny mites and juveniles right here.
So again, a fine ride there by Kyra Williams. Again, she didn't panic too much. She just kind of bided her time. Once she got over the top, going up the back straight away, again, she just held her own and didn't really bother too much about what was coming behind her. Once she assumed that position, she just held her form and was able to cross the line very impressively indeed there. So Vaporweight with the multi-sport outfit with a fine victory there as well for them. So the ladies in their tiny mites category, the juvenile and tiny mites ladies here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. Remember, this is day 1 of the Easter Grand Prix Cycling Championships, and so it's certainly that. So again, to all our viewers, wherever you may be, we do apologize for a late start. We were having some technical difficulties, but that is sorted out now, and we're able to welcome you to Skinner Park in San Fernando for day 1 of the Easter Grand Prix, the Easter International Grand Prix here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. So again, we've just seen just a few races. We had the 7 Ups International, which was won by Cipriano out of Brazil. And what you're seeing there are some tiny mites getting there, some youngsters rather, the development riders who put on a fine show here for the fans And here some of them are receiving their prizes as well. Under sevens, I think we even have a 6-year-old, Winston Gypsy Peters, doing the honors. We have riders, of course, from the Vaporwake in 3rd place, Arimo Wheelers in 2nd place, and of course, Rictech Sonics in 1st place here. So this is always this is the future of cycling, and it's just the expression of some of these youngsters that just blows the mind, because they have all the mannerisms of the older folks, of the heroes in the sport. They just look up to either riders in their club or for Trinidad and Tobago, or even riders internationally. Some of these kids actually follow events like the Tour de France and other things, so they know what they're talking about. So they obviously have an idea. There you go. They know exactly what to do when they get on the podium. These pictures they're going to share with their friends, wherever, family and friends, looking forward to Kwame Lawrence, of course, in there. His son is also a member of the Arima Wheelers Cycle Club, so I'm sure he will have keen interest in that as well. And as you can see, Skinner Park really looks a picture. Winston Gypsy Peters doing the honors here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. So again, we're live and we welcome one and all to 360 TV's coverage of the Easter Grand Prix. This is day 1, 2 days at Skinner Park, and then we close off on Sunday at the Cycling Velodrome in Couva, Balmain Couva, where it's a UCI Class 1 event. Today and tomorrow will fall under the Class 2 category, because this is not an official 250 track. It's a 333 track, and 333 meters around. So that is always the challenge, so to speak. But because of that is the reason why the UCI have basically deemed it a Class 2 event. But I'm sure it will, once we get indoors, then you'll see the sprint events, which will be a feature come Sunday. But we do want you to stay with us because we anticipate some amazing rides the rest of this evening. They're at the line. Once again, an elimination for elite riders. Just about, we have 2 Jamaicans in there, 2 from Barbados as well. And I'm not seeing any local riders. I want to say so. You might have a club rider in there, but all the same, it should be an interesting ride for these Category 1 riders. Elite 1 riders, these are the top riders. This is the group from which future national riders will come. So again, I'm not seeing any sort of late arrivals. Every so often we see riders hustling to the line, but it looks like we're going with these 9 riders, or these 7 riders, I should say, who are already at the line. So 7 of them will do battle in this one. So let's take you down to the track as they roll around for the start. They'll come back for the official start when they come back.
33 meters. It's going to be every lap elimination until we go down. So ladies and gentlemen, just to give you how it works, on a 250-meter track, like in Couva, it's every other lap because it's a smaller track. The bigger tracks from 333 meters, where we are in lovely Skinner Park, it's going to be every lap. When you go to Arima Velodrome, it's going to be every lap. It's 430 meters. So they get the start and the bell. Yeah, right.
All right, what is that? You have these stats, it's for the 500?
Yeah, we're going to call it out now. After I call it, then you'll start to call the 500 start.
After call the first elimination.
First one.
All right, cool.
So we're coming for first elimination. As Devil take the hindmost. Who? One, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Thank you very much. You have a name for him?
Samuel Maloney.
Samuel Maloney. The devil got you on this Easter Friday. And who? Who was 408? 408. You have been eliminated. 408. Go ring the bell and tell us the last bell. 402. Yeah, no one was behind there. Don't look back. You will last. Don't worry. As I come for another. Who? One, 7. They come on. Enrique, they come on. They're coming for the bell. This is the final bell. Trinidad and Tobago, Bob, and Jamaica. Trinidad, yeah?
Barbados. I stole it from Barbados.
That is that boy from Trinidad right
Burnett?
here. Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like Burnett.
You have results on the
Riding for Stoley out of Barbados from Trinidad and Tobago. It looks like Burnett will win the Elite One elimination, ladies and gentlemen. What a ride by the youngster.
So again, a well-timed ride indeed, and again we had another spill in this race, and so again we're just hoping that these riders, remember this is just the first day, so they still have 2 days to go, and so these riders obviously would want to compete and compete hard, but compete fairly and compete safely. So we cannot overemphasize that enough here. And so we have an Elite 2 now as they go in for this. And here we see him coming around and really just saluting the victory even before he got to the line, because he knew that his opponent had given up and there was no way back from there. So congratulations to him. And now you can see the riders getting ready for their next event, another elimination for actually there's a 3-lap event for Elite 2 riders. So this is not an elimination event, this is a straight race, as they say, 3 laps. A pretty good bunch of Elite 2 riders. About 15 of them at the line, so I'm sure they'll be eager to get things going. Race comes here, just making sure that everything is A-OK, and they get a rolling start as well. And we have riders from PSL. We have riders, as you could see there, from Rictech Sonics. We also have a couple of riders in from the JLV Cycle Academy. It looks like we also have riders from Madonna Wheelers in there as well. So we'll see Tobago also represented in this category. So here they come for the bell now.
How about the Suriname? That
On the
is
final,
exactly what
the
Jimmy,
bell
he is
indicates
out
the
in the
final
front.
lap, and that's it.
This is going to be a very quick one. Coming to see 2 laps to go. It is Zavi Wadili of Suriname. He is out in front. Michael Aki is second on the track. of Evolution Cycling Academy, followed by Daryl Pereira of South Plain.
Okay. After this race.
It is Xavi Wadili of Suriname taking the bell with quite a gap on the rest of the field. D'Angelo Harris, Justin Williams are also in there. Daryl Pereira looks over to Michael Aki, who after Wadili of Suriname.
It was just a mistake. That's all. Okay. Big crash.
There was a spill.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Chris.
Suriname, ladies and gentlemen.
The bell indicates the final lap.
A very, very quick three-lap event.
In a mistake, the bell indicates the final lap of a race. The bell.
So there you have it, another spill, unfortunately. We have another rider going over. And again, I think it's a lot of these riders now probably adjusting to the track and also adjusting to the speed of these races. But luckily for them, the medical personnel are right on spot, and they will advise them accordingly. And once they ascertain that the rider is probably out of danger, and so they may insert a brace. And of course, he's indicating where he fell on his right hip, and that is going to burn, so to speak. When you lie down tonight, he probably can't even turn on that side. He's going to be sticking to the sheet in a lot of cases, unless he's able to get some gauze or something over that area. Trust me, I've been there many times, and it's not the best. And the thing about it, folks, is like you might see a rider down, and you know, it looks terrible. But because they have to go through this whole thing, they need to find out from the rider where he's hurting, what kind of pain he's in. They will determine the course of treatment. And by the time the rider gets that treatment, he may or may not be able to resume riding. So although it looks, you know, like it's terrible, and it might be, but a lot of times this is just the procedure that they have to go through. There's the protocols that they have to undergo, and so unless the rider could just get up immediately and start to ride, then this is part of the course, that the rider gets all the care that is required, and then once he's out of danger, then they'll release him back to his trainers or his coaches or whoever, and then they will determine whether the rider is fit enough to race again. But you could just see I just feel that some of the riders, they're still not adjusted to the track here at Skinner Park. It's taking a few of them a little while to really get back in the swing of things, and it just seems as if they are struggling for the moment with it. But we certainly hope that everything is okay with the rider. Like I say, sometimes it might actually look more serious than it really is, and that is what I'm hoping for in this particular instance. He hasn't really moved much. He was indicating to them where he was getting pain, so we see more riders. These youngsters, the youth development, under 7s, under 9s, under 11s, and under 13s, they went earlier, and they are now receiving the prizes for their hard work. So again, our congratulations to them for some fantastic rides. We'll see them again a little bit later on, so you don't have to worry too much. We will have more riders coming, and they would no doubt be there. This is the Rictech Sonics 1, 2, 3, and again, these young ladies showing that they're ready for the challenge of racing, and racing in front of a crowd, which is a proud moment for them. They're racing in front of their parents, maybe even their brothers and sisters, their neighbors, what have you. And of course, thanks to 360 TV, they're also racing in front of the nation and the wider world. So this is a very proud moment for them as well. So we certainly want to salute them and wish them continued success the rest of the way as they go forward. So it's a fine evening for cycling. It's not too hot, and it's a little cloud cover, but no immediate threat of rain. In fact, we here in Trinidad and Tobago are already suffering from Sahara dust. We have it's everywhere, as they say. And so a lot of people who suffer from respiratory issues, then they're always very mindful of that, so that they take whatever precaution might be necessary. But as you can see here, the crowd continues to grow here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. People to in and fro in, every which way, trying to get a vantage point. And this is the beauty of Skinner Park, the new Skinner Park, I should say, is that from almost every seat, you have a full view of the entire proceedings here, what is going on in the middle. It's one of the best viewing facilities that we have right now, because you could see there are no posts, nothing to block you. You have a full view, a full panoramic view of all of the proceedings here. So it's always a great thing when you come to a facility, nothing is blocking you. You don't have to worry about, if somebody is sitting in front of you because of the slope. It's high enough, so even if it's a taller person, or as in the case of the three of us here, if a wide-bodied person like one of us sits in front of you, you're not worried. You're not going to be blocked out from proceedings. You'll still be able to see and get a good view of the entire track here at Skinner Park. So it really is a fine opportunity for the spectators to come and witness these riders as they put on a splendid show. Of course, we've had a couple spills, and like I say, I just feel a lot of it has to do with riders. Maybe it's just the adrenaline. They're all excited, and they no doubt can't control their own speeds, because this is a new track, so it obviously is going to be a fairly quick track, and so that's another adjustment that they have to do. Here we go.
It looks like Samaru from Carabay and Paledo.
Yeah, that's Carabay in front.
Carabay, Samaru, and Paledo, top 3 to qualify. It looks like it's going to be Trinidad and Tobago taking the top 3 spots. Top 3 to qualify. Nice heat for Trinidad and Tobago. As we said, that's just a heat. That's not a final. That's not a top.
And that, of course, is the qualifiers for the 500-meter event. And so that will be coming up a little bit earlier, the 500-meter heats for the International. And that is the first event after the intermission, which is coming up later on this evening. So once we get that intermission, and so it's riders here trying to book their spots on the line for that, and Trinidad and Tobago with 3 riders already safely through. I'm sure a couple more will be hoping to join them there to make it a real festive occasion and to get the fans going. We have a couple of Trinidadians in this one as well, and so I'm sure they too will be hoping that they can join the fray as well. But of course, Brazil is there, and they too will be hoping. Suriname is also there, so they will be hoping to upset that. You see Elijah Green there in the black top, holding another TNT rider. His son was riding a short while ago. So we have riders on the line. Trinidad and Tobago, 1, 2, 3 on the inside. We have Brazil, we have Suriname, and so they immediately go in. It's 1.5 half laps of the track.
It looks like Diablo, or is that Jarrell? Diablo leading them out, De Silva in second, Campbell in third, and Jarrell in fourth. But look at Campbell is on his wheel. Diablo trying to hold on. Top three will qualify. De Silva, Brazil, Campbell, Trinidad and Tobago, and Diablo also. That's your three will go in. We'll give you the top six in a short while.
Elite and International women.
So they have it there, the next three, so to speak. So there'll be six of them. There are 5 Trinis plus the silver from Brazil in the final, coming up a little bit later on this evening. And I'm sure that's when. Now you can look at Akil Campbell here. He just backed off. He didn't bother too much. Once he recognized that he was in the top 3 to qualify, he didn't push to try to come over the top. But I'm sure if this was the final, then you saw Akil Campbell would have been really pushing all the way to the line. Campbell, again, remember, is coming off a win in the third and final leg of the Jamaica International event recently. I think he finished second overall in that event over 3 stages or 3 days out there in Montego Bay. And a fine performance by him as well. So we certainly looking forward to great things from Akil Campbell. Of course, he is the brother of Tennille Campbell, who we all know is doing us so proud on the international stage, riding among some of the best riders in the world in Europe on that women's circuit. And speaking of women, here we have a couple of our local women also in the mix here as they get ready for their event, a 6-lap event for elite and international women. So Trinidad and Tobago will be hoping to pick up some victories along the way. Sejigat. Certainly looking to also put her name up in the lights here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. Trinidad and Tobago well represented, and this is where it's at events like these where local cycling enthusiasts first got familiar with so many of our outstanding riders, whether it was Roger Gibbon or the Luces brothers or, you know, Ian Atterley, Cheeseman, Farrells, you name it, Gene Samuel, you know, I mean, I could just call names, Leslie King, you know, all of these great riders who represented us and won medals for us internationally. Is at events like these where you kind of first started hearing their names over and over and over, and you realize you're onto something. And so the name Campbell will obviously resonate with a lot of people, and I'm sure these ladies will be hoping that their names also start resonating with the local cycling fans. And for those of you outside of Trinidad and Tobago who are looking at this, and I'm sure amazed at what you're seeing here, this is actually happening here live at Skinner Park in San Fernando, a rebuilt Skinner Park, spanking new track, and the riders are going to roll around the track. They have a free lap before they come back for the official start when they come back. So always something to look forward to. Welcome back, and of course we do apologize for that interruption there, which was a power failure at the entire facility here at Skinner Park. And so the women are back on the track as they get ready to start their event. Here they go. So here they go again, a good field. We have some Brazilians and also doing their bit here now. Trinidad and Tobago keeping tabs on this attack. That's a good attack. She's just waiting. She didn't get the bell or anything like that. She just bolted. It's a 6-lap event for International women. So Ramirez of Trinidad and Tobago right there on the wheel. 4 laps to go, so she's just holding her own. Brazil, and here they're all coming back together now as they bridge the gap quickly. And everybody is back in contention once again now. Trinidad and Tobago would have to be smart here now to see this attack coming, but there's nobody there to cover that attack, and Ramirez is going to have to go again by herself, and so it's not easy. She's going to have to do this the hard way, so to speak. So Trinidad and Tobago now trying to get into position. We're looking at the red shirts moving up on the outside, trying to get into position, but there's still work to be done as they try to come into so that to slingshot over the top. And just about 2 laps to go. Trinidad and Tobago right there, but I think they're going to have to make an investment. Somebody's going to have to go there to ride interference for Ramirez. Ramirez again is out there battling on her own. She does a smart thing to try to get out of that little boxing on the inside, just to be there when the attack comes. And here we go with the bell. And of course, now this is where it was so important to have the TNT riders in position, so when the attack came, that there would be somebody else other than Ramirez to try to counter those attacks. As it is right now, it's tough going for her. As Mexico comes over and takes it now, brilliantly ride again. But it's all about strategy and knowing exactly what you're doing. And here they come again, coming around to that final bend. Now it's very windy on this track, so you have to kind of know how you're gonna, where you're gonna launch your attack from. You have to time it properly, and not all the time are you able to just race around and not account for that factor, that wind factor. And but on that occasion, the rider from Mexico timed it brilliantly and was able to complete a solid victory all the same. So congratulations there to her. That was the women's 6-lap event for the elite women and international riders, and that was the 9th event on this evening. Once again, we welcome you here to Skinner Park in San Fernando for the Trinidad and Tobago Cycling Federation's Easter International Grand Prix, blazing the track. And this is the first night, the opening night of a 3-night event. It's an annual Easter cycling extravaganza here at a spanking new Skinner Park in San Fernando. So if you were here earlier, we did have a bit of a technical problem, and then we just lost power a short while ago. But hopefully we're back up, hopefully for the rest of the night, and we hope you could stay with us throughout. You know, you could tell your friends, they could log in and follow the action here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. I know a lot of you who are living abroad and seeing this for the first time, maybe see Skinner Park like this, the spanking new Skinner Park must be pleased as punch, as they say, witnessing proceedings here from this new facility here. It was out for a couple of years, firstly during COVID, and so the work went on, once the clearances were given. So here we are now with that opportunity to get back. We've seen the race commissaire just making sure that everything is okay, and we're getting ready for a 4-lap event for juveniles. So about 12 of them on the line, some outstanding juvenile riders. As they too will get a free lap. You see the riders out there of Arima Wheelers, Hummingbird International, also part of the action. Rictech Sonics, and of course, Madonna Wheelers, not to be left out. And so again, we look forward to seeing them performing brilliantly here as well. Team Raiders also in the mix. It's the riders coming around. Remember, this is a 4-lap event, event number 10 on our program here this evening. So as they get the whistle, a race is officially on now. So the juvenile men doing their bit here now. The race not really off to a flying start just yet. Guys are probably just saving energy at the moment because it's such a big bunch. Nobody wants to overcommit just yet. There's no real racing room at the moment. The ones in front are just kind of occupying those lanes and not leaving anything to chance. Riders are just taking their time around the track. Of course, you've seen a couple spills already this evening. So I think these riders would have been cautioned about safety, safe riding. Keep your both hands on the handlebar at all times and be aware of your surroundings. And that comes with experience. So if you're an inexperienced rider, it could prove to be a bit of a challenge sometimes when you hear other riders in and around you. And so you just have to learn to ride with those instincts, those riders' instincts and racing instincts as well. Plus you also have to factor in the wind at the southern end and the northern end of the ground. That could really force you wide if you're not sure. And so even that will be a part of the reason why you factor in. So here they go now, racing quickly. Just all of a sudden things have heated up quite nicely. So here he goes, powering down that back straightaway. And now the battle is for second place. Arima Wheelers, Rictech Sonics. Arima Wheelers, yes, just holding on from Rictech Sonics there for second place. So no denying the man at the front there, winning it impressively once again. So these cyclists, of course, would have been priming for this event in recent months, many of them. So again, one of the youngsters for the future there, these juvenile riders. And we have the junior women. They're getting ready for their 4-lap event as well. That will be coming up in a short. And so we're looking forward to them also producing something special, something memorable. And the thing about it, look at the fans here now as this. They continue to file in here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. And the thing about it is that you never know when a youngster who would come to this event, male or female, boy or girl, when they will, that switch will go off in their head. And then they might just see somebody or see something that they like. It might be a pretty colored uniform, whatever it is. You know, you never know what they're going to be attracted to. It might be the bikes themselves, the helmets, whatever. And it might just be something that they like, something they feel that they can do. And I'm sure they will want to impress and also make sure that they represent themselves very well. But like I said, you always want to make sure that these youngsters, the fans, they get to see the riders so they know or they have an idea of what the sport is about. And once they're able to put things in place, then they no doubt will be able to develop, and that's where they develop the appetite for the sport, the love for the sport, and as they get more and more involved in it, you might very well see your next international rider here representing TNT at the Olympics. We have two ladies at the line. So we have Jamaica against Alexia Wilson out of Arima Wheelers. So it's really Trinidad and Tobago against Jamaica. Wilson just seemed to be having a problem with her toe clips. And as soon as she's comfortable, I'm sure they'll get her back on the line right away. So we should be getting the start of this event any moment now. We see the commissaire getting both riders up to the line, and pretty soon it's racing time here for these two.
And that's the start. It's Alexia Wilson from Jordania James, Arima Wheelers from Team Jamaica. 1 lap to go. As she drives down the back straight and into turn 4 now. Jordania James is behind, but by quite some margin. It is Alexia Wilson, ladies and gentlemen, of Arima Wheelers from Jordania James of Jamaica.
So Jordania James not able to really keep up with the speed of the fast-moving Alexia Wilson of Arima Wheelers and Trinidad and Tobago. So the junior men are now making their way to the start line, and that race, of course, was a one-lap event we just saw there with these two. And so now we have some of these youngsters here, some of the junior riders, and again, with the Junior Commonwealth Games coming to Trinidad and Tobago and other events taking place, this category is of paramount importance. Junior Pan Ams not too far off for some of these riders. So they'll be hoping to impress here and to continue with their development and get the opportunity to wear the red, white, and black. That is always a special feeling for these youngsters. You can never take that away from them. So this is obviously a big occasion for them. We have 5 of them. There are 6 of them, really, when you think about it. 6 TNT riders here on the national team. And we also have Arima Wheelers also in the mix as well. So I think they're going to roll around for a free lap, and then they'll come back for the official start to this event. We also have Team PSL also there. So I'm sure they'll be hoping to get something there. And remember, they're all like friends, really, when you think about it. Even though they're not wearing their national colors at the moment, a lot of these youngsters would have been riding against each other since BMX. And now they're into the tiny mice, juveniles, and now juniors, hoping to make the step up to the senior ranks. But even before they do that, while they're juniors, they want to be wearing those national colors. So here we go for the start of this event.
From Dave Cooper, from Jaden Neves. Jaden Neves, very dangerous junior. He rode a spectacular race a few weekends ago at the Luces Memorial up against the elites. Jaden Neves in the red, white, and black of Trinidad and Tobago. 3 laps to go. Dave Cooper goes to the front for Trinidad and Tobago. A very large contingent, red, white, and black. The club are going to have their work cut out. That is Titus Barrett, Aaron Matas, and Nigel Ali.
Reason in red, white, and black because you come over again. So let them.
Representing Trinidad and Tobago this evening as they seek to prepare themselves for the up-and-coming Youth Commonwealth Games in August 2023 to be held right here in Trinidad and Tobago as well. So ladies and gentlemen, as they come around for the bell, you need to cheer them on because that's the move by Aaron Matas. But look at the speed on the outside by Sindel Samaru. Sindel Samaru of the red, white, and black makes a move and pulls his teammates along with him. It is red, white, and black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What a ride! Number 443, Jarrell Mohammed of Team Trinidad and Tobago.
Mohammed there getting the job done for TNT. Of course, Samaru was also in the mix. And Trinidad and Tobago, the riders are showing, of course, why they're in the red, white, and black. And that they're a little bit better prepared at the moment in this juniors category. And again, these youngsters, it's a work in progress for them as they come around to the applause of an appreciative crowd here at Skinner Park. They love to see the red, white, and black featured prominently and featuring successfully at each and every event. So when you see 5 riders cross the line, one after the other in national colors, it's a proud moment for all of those folks sitting there and cheering on these riders to great things with each and every race. So while they keep cheering, I'm sure the riders will keep producing for them. That's kind of the sort of symbiotic relationship that the riders will have with the fans, where they feed off the fans more than anything else. And they'll be hoping to keep giving them stuff to do. Now we're getting ready for the Masters category. And these are the older riders. Many of them have sort of stopped the international racing or even national team racing, but they're still cycling enthusiasts and they're still competitive within their categories. In fact, bragging rights is always, I mean, you should be a fly on the wall on that reel in there just to hear some of the comments that would come from these riders. They're very competitive indeed, and they don't back down. I don't know if there's anything like sledging in cycling, but some of the comments, you'll swear they're sledging each other. But it's all comical sometimes because it's really about who can do what and what I'm going to do to you in this race and stuff like that. So it's always fun when they finish. When they finish, they have a good laugh about it as well. We're getting ready now for the first of the Masters event. We have 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, and Masters 70 plus. So it should be a very interesting set of races that we have here, a little collective. We had the juniors or the development riders earlier in their cluster, and now we have the veteran riders in their cluster as well. So 3 laps for these riders, and some of them would tell you that's as far as we could go at this age. So they'll just take the 3 laps and be happy with it. So I think they're ready. The commissaire is pleased. 7 of them on the line for this event, 3 laps. The commissaire is pointing that out to them just to let them know that this is a 3-lap event. And but we think they could count that far, so they don't have to worry about it. They could multitask while they're racing. They could be counting, but then that's why we have the man holding up the flag or the sign with the numbers on them to help the riders negotiate and to plan their races and pace themselves, so to speak, to end on a high, so with a big sprint finish at the end. But they got a rolling start once again as they make their way around. As you can see the flags in the background and the distance. Look at how they're fluttering. So the wind is a factor here. And I think as these riders grow accustomed to Skinner Park once again, you would see better quality racing and certainly better technical racing, because you have to factor in the wind and where you position yourselves and how you position your body on the bike as well as you come around the track trying to hold that lane and avoid any spills or anything like that. So here we come for the start of this event.
From South Lane, going to the front. Coming back to 2 laps to go. This is going to be a hot 3 laps. It's over 1,000 years on track. Still Caesar leading them around with 2 laps to go. Alphalare right there with them. 360 TV.
Shortly after, we'll announce it. Right now.
Gonna move. They're coming for the bell. I say cut everything in half. Now we can cut. That's Klein. Ooh, some of these it is short. Nelson, this has been a battle for years going by. Lafon from Nelson. Lafon from Nelson, PSL. Nelson in second, Caesar in third, and the remaining 1,000 years.
So there you have it, the finish of the 70-plus riders. 7 of them on the line for this one. And of course, we saw Godfrey Klein leading them out to take the bell, and then he just started to go backwards after that. It's almost like he hit what we call that proverbial wall after that. Didn't have anything to come home with thereafter. And that, as they say, was the end of that until, of course, Earl Lafond showed that he is still one of the best in the business, even at his advanced age, dominating his category and getting another victory here ahead of Nelson, with Caesar coming in third place. So now we have the 60 to 69 category, and I see Brown from Arima Wheelers now getting onto his bike. He's in second position on the wall there. And of course, he has won several medals for Trinidad and Tobago at the Masters events and those World Cup events internationally, representing his club, Arima Wheelers. He is the president of the Arima Wheelers Cycle Club. And he's also the father of Quasi Brown. So Joel is no stranger to this, and I'm sure he will be a marked man in this event. So now we have riders, it's almost like they're afraid to come to the front of the line. So there is commissaires just asking some of the others to just ease up and come forward. UCI Hummingbird in there, Madonna Wheelers in there, Arima Wheelers, Rigtech Sonics also featuring prominently. So should be an interesting battle. And I think they too will get a free lap to roll around the track and get their gears up ready for the sprinting action. And I say sprinting guardedly, as these riders would like to think that they're more efficient with their use of energy as they roll around the track now in the Masters 60 to 69 category. So they taking their time, not really forcing the issue too much, just rolling around the track here now. And before they get down to the business end of the race, which is when they come all the way around to get the bell to start proceedings here, or at least get the whistle to get the race started officially here. Again, we congratulate the members of the ambulance service. They've been kept pretty busy early on with a couple of spills, but they've dealt with those quite efficiently. And I'm sure if you ask the riders who went down, they'll tell you that they're happy with the service that they got. Members of the fire service also very prominent indeed. So here they come. As they come for the bell, this is like a regular Sunday stroll. As they make their way around, the race commissioner obviously want them to do. The race commissioner have dropped it to 2 laps to go now, so they have to get going. So he's actually hastened the race a little bit, forcing them to have to pick it up as soon as they can.
That's what they needed, Ronald, because the race picked up significantly. You know the practice are on the line.
1 lap to go for Masters 60 to 69. Who's that leading? What's this one? Who's that leading?
You have one more presentation. Thank you very much.
Hummingbird International, look at the speed of the rider coming over the top. Looking very good indeed. Number 500, it looks like. James Joseph, unattached rider from Guyana. If you add up that map.
So again, it's another fine ride here. And again, the original designation of this race was a 3-lap event. But I suppose the race commissioner felt that free lap that they got might have taken something out of them. So they actually chopped it from a 3-lap to a 2-lap. So just as they got the bell, they got 2 laps to go, and or they got the whistle, I should say, to officially start the race. It was reduced to a 2-lap event, and so we saw a much different race. Guys were racing immediately on the start of that one. So we're getting ready now for the 50 to 59 category. The race commissioner just holding up the card to indicate to them a 3-lap event, and that they should treat it like a 3-lap event, not a 4-lap event as it was originally designated. So this is a 3-lap event for them. So I think they're trying to just to speed up things. Remember, we lost some time because of the power outage. So I think Gregory Dandred is making his way out of as well. He is qualified as a race commissioner also, so he would know a thing or two about the rules and where they could assist, and they're making sure that all the numbers are correct and in the right places at all times. So just to make sure that everything is okay, that the riders can be identified at all times. So 11 of them are heading on to the track. So they too will get a rolling start in this one as they make their way around. Hummingbird also in there, nicely positioned. I think there are 3 of them in this particular event, so they will be well represented. Rictech Sonics also well represented with a couple of riders in the mix. Madonna Wheelers, South Clean also showing making their presence felt. So it should make for an interesting battle as they make their way around. Up the back straightaway they go. As they come around now, coming for the bell. That is the turn on the northern side of the track. As they pass the bleachers, they get ready now for the whistle to start the race officially.
There was no bell when the official decided if they was riding too slow, he had liked the rider in front, they would ring the bell. I for that too. Oh wait, you ain't finished and you're not set?
I'm looking at the bag of nuts half filled.
Riders coming back to see 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go.
We have Aaron's knowledge of Raiders cycle.
Once I see him, once you flash it to me, I can.
The cyclist out of the Evolution Cycling Academy as well. Out there at the front, but there's a rush on the outside.
They're coming for the bell. Blue, 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 487.
Ron Greaves of Rictech take the time to move to jump on the field.
And trying to come out for third, but it is green.
Ron Greaves of Rictech in the Masters 40 Plus Championship.
Wendell Charles will take second. Rocky Hussein in third. Again, that's unofficial. We had 2 sets of Masters in that category, and it would have to be sorted out as we move along.
So there you had it, folks. I think they combined 2 categories there with men like Rocky Hussein and others. So they put the 50 to 59 and 40 to 49 together. And I'm sure so I think they'll have to kind of sort out who actually won in which category. So we'll see if that is in fact the case, but I'm seeing some additional riders now making their way onto the track. And these might be the Elite 3 riders. So they too will probably go 3 laps, or are they going 4 laps as was originally designated. So we wait to see what the race commissaire has lined up for them, but again, they're just trying to make sure and get these races.
This is Elite 3.
So the Elite 3 riders,
Doing 3 laps.
so they too will be doing a 3-lap event. And after this, we should be heading to our intermission right after this particular event. Now we had a break once again for the, because of the loss of lights, the loss of power here. So they would not be. There we have a rider who just joined the fray, but he seems to be having a problem with his toe clip as well. But I think they'll give him a split second to make sure he gets it all secured, and I think he is ready. So they too will get a rolling start. It's a 3-lap event for Elite 3 riders. Auguste right there. Madonna Wheelers also there, Rictech Sonics in the mix, Raiders also featuring. So we wait to see how they do. Again, they're just cruising around the track. Remember the last race got dropped from a 3-lap to a 2-lap because of a similar scenario. So when we come back, we'll see 3 laps to go. I think it's going to stay as a 3-lap event. So as they come around, they come for the whistle now to start the event. And there they do, they get the whistle to start this event.
And in first place,
As they go racing along, and immediately you see the rider from Madonna bolting to the front and speeding, coming around for this one. You'll see 2 laps to go on passing the line for the second time. So they going to the front.
Thank you. They're coming for the bell. This is Elite 3, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
that's it.
Guevara on the course. Grandson going over the top.
The competition.
South lane in top position, open road in third. As they come to the line, this is Elite 3, number 161. That's Corey Samuels of Valkyrie Cycling Club, taking the victory in Elite 3. Give it up for the elite women on the podium, ladies and gentlemen, collecting them.
So Valkyrie Cycle Club coming up with a big victory there. Samuel's getting the job done and ready, timed it beautifully, and doing it also well. So we're getting ready. Actually, we're going to the 500-meter event right away. So this was the International 500 meters. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago well represented in this event. And so they'll do 1 lap. Well, they'll start over on the far side, on the eastern side, and then they'll come over past the finish line and then make 1 lap of the track after that to complete this event. So it's a sprint. It's some down to board from the word go as they get the whistle. And it's like when they pass here, they'll get the bell 1 time. So this is going to be fast, fans. We just see some of the winners and the international riders. Mexico at the top of the podium there. Congratulations to them. So we focus now on this one. This is a big one. The 500 meters for international riders. This is the final. We had the qualifiers earlier. 3 trainees in 1 heat, and I think another 2 in the second heat. So there are 5 local riders in the fray here. Can Akil Campbell show his wares here, or would it be Polido or Woods, Tariq Woods? Who will it be? Or will it be the Brazilians again showing their capabilities? The silver also in there. Here we go.
And look at the steering of Diane Peredo of Trinidad and Tobago as he gets the bell with 1 lap to go.
That looks like Sam Rubin second.
But here comes the rider out of Brazil. That's the silver. Will he catch Peredo? It's Peredo from the silver. Peredo from the silver. Trinidad, Brazil, Brazil, Brazil! The silver of Brazil! Wow! That was some speed right there on the Brazilian.
So there it is, Pereira of Brazil. Despite the myriad of Trinidad and Tobago riders littered all over the track, Polidor couldn't hold on. You could see him wavering there, and here comes the Brazilian. He has him covered there, no stress. Easy victory for him in the end as he cruised over the line, timed it to perfection. And that is the man, Pereira from Brazil, with the victory here in the 500-meter international event here. So what a fantastic ride we just saw there, and I think the fans would have been thrilled with that performance. And right now they're just lapping it up here, what they're getting. They had to kind of sit through a little power outage earlier, and this 500 was supposed to be the first event to start the second half of tonight's proceedings. So they will no doubt be anxious to get on with things here. We're looking at some of the young riders again. Open Road Challenge in the orange at the top of the podium. In second place, Arima Wheelers Cycle Club in the blue and yellow with green. And to the right of your screen, and then to the left of your screen, Rick Sonics in their blue strip with the black trimmings in the shorts as well. So Open Road Challenge certainly making a name for themselves here at the Easter Grand Prix. So Mr. Thompson Carlos Pedales of Open Road Challenge, the man at the top of the podium there, getting his prize. In fact, they all got prizes for a job well done by these youngsters here. And pretty soon we should be getting the BMXers. You know, they are all enthusiastic and eager to get on the track. They were on earlier, and because of our technical difficulties, you may not have seen those races, but we're happy that we're up, and in a few moments you'll be able to see these youngsters once again. If you look in the background, you'll see them getting their bikes checked. So pretty soon they'll be coming out to do battle once again. They're just getting their pictures taken, the winners from that junior event. So these youngsters are really blazing a trail for themselves, making a name, so to speak, for themselves. And who is to blame them? They're putting in the hard yards in training, and this is kind of like the cherry on top as they can win their events and get some hardware to prove that they won their event at the Easter Grand Prix. So it's always, that's always the fun part for them. So we see in the BMXers, they're just gathering there, the crowd waiting in anticipation. There they are, that whole legion of young riders. The youth development program of the Trinidad and Tobago Cycling Federation on display here. And these youngsters, no doubt, they live for this. You just have to be in their company for 2 minutes, and you know just the energy, the enthusiasm they have for riding, for their events, and they just love everything about the cycling and coming out here and competing in front of these fans. They just live for that. And as they grow in the sport and they get better at it, then their names will become household names. And we certainly look forward to the next wave of young riders to come to the fore. And many of them, of course, they're just keen. They they want to do well. They want to do well for their, not just for themselves, but for their families. You know, the mommy and daddy invest so much in their bikes and everything else that they just want to be able to show that they're capable. And there we have the riders now way over on the far side. I think that's where they went over on that far side. So they're going to get their little 3/4 lap race started over on that far side. I think they have another rider who gets a little bit of a handicap. Yep. This might be the under 7s getting started. So she has a little handicap. If the camera only pans a little to the left, you'll see that there's another rider. Here she goes. She's off and running. Here she is in the red. And she's not even 7 yet. So the other riders, they are not even wasting any time. They're gone. And they're showing their class.
Once again, Ryan Shepard has gone to the front and is bringing this one home. This is the under 7 youth developer category. Ladies and gentlemen, Salome Bailey is coming around. Cheer her on as they come around. Salome Bailey.
There's young Bailey finishing her race. You have to give her courage for that. She's brave enough to get on the bike and get on the track. And of course, she's not quitting. She's finishing her event, and that is a good sign for the young lady. She can hear the applause from the fans as well, cheering her on. And so I'm sure that she would want to do this again and again and again and again, just to hear that applause. And once that bug bites, who knows? So listen to the name, young Bailey. You never know what is going to happen. We have another bunch of riders on the line. The under 9s, the under 7 boys, under 7 and under 9 boys and girls. And we just have a false start at the line. And the youngster, you still try to go. They don't quit. These youngsters, even though he's a long way back, he's still trying his best to get up there. But you look at the speed at the front, and this is going to be an easy win. And the Rigtech Sonics 2nd and 3rd. And here's the youngster from Arima Wheelers who had that false start. And he came in, he almost caught at least one rider, and that is the determination that these riders are showing. He had a little bit of a mishap right at the very start, and the others bolted, and he just got it into stride and took off and was able to complete his race. And you have to tip your hats to the young man, showing real determination there. And in fact, he's saying, I don't know if I'll have another race today, but I'm going to ride this one no matter what. And it's always great to see that from these youngsters as they learn about, facing disappointments, but overcoming disappointments as well. And that's one of the things that sport can teach all of us. As we say, it could be the greatest leveler. One day you're up, and the next day, it doesn't go as well. But you have to learn from that and try to make the next day better, and better and better and so on. So it's all part of development. So now we see another group of youngsters getting ready for their event as they get to the line quickly again. And like I said, these youngsters, they don't waste any time. They are always eager to get started. So they're all at the line now. So 4 of them. Getting at the ready now as they get ready for their event.
Annalise Watson, Lisa Jo Boudou, Demaya Prince, and Scarlett Thorne. And there they go, 1 lap to go. Scarlett Thorne on the outside goes immediately. Annalise Watson is second up. And Demaya Prince and Lisa Jo Boudou battling for third. But as they come around, it is Scarlett Thorne, ladies and gentlemen, of Arima Wheelers. The challenge is coming for second place. Will Lisa Jo get there? It's very close between Lisa Jo and Annalise Watson as we await the official results.
We have another fine finish there again, and well, there's no stopping the youngster from Arima Wheelers. This is her second race tonight, second win, so she has that field covered for the moment. And now we're getting ready for another look at the numbers at the start line, and they're just jockeying for positions there. And I remember when they started earlier, there was a little bit of a mishap at the start. About 3 or 4 riders went down because they were so close together. And remember, these are inexperienced youngsters, so everybody is just all over the track as they try to get the speed up. And as a result of that, I'm sure the riders would have been advised and coached as to how best to avoid a repeat. But they seem they're ready. So we're looking at them now getting ready to bolt immediately. The under 11s and the under 13s, boys and girls, they're ready for action.
And there they go, the under 11 boys. One of the cyclists out of Arima Wheelers losing their footing. We have one cyclist going down as well, making hot pursuit. Golden Wheels of Barbados also in the mix. As they come to the line, it is Rig Texonics from Vaporweight Multisport. Golden Wheelers challenging as well the youngsters out of Barbados.
Back to the prize rostrum, Masters 50 to 59 in third position.
So that's the under 11 boys, and another fantastic ride, riding from the front again and making it look so easy. Vaporwave also putting themselves in the mix and showing that they are to be considered and to be taken seriously. So now we have another bunch of riders, not as big a group as the boys earlier, but these young ladies, I'm sure, would want to put on a show themselves. And it's all about Rig Texonics, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
1 lap distance, and once again, goes immediately to the front and rockets down the back straight. Also in there we have Rayan Thompson, Catalea Benjamin, and Adriel Joseph. But it is Malena Lopez, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to the line. The race is on for second and third. Very, very good effort by our under 13. Still having one. I don't know what to say, but that is some exceptional bike handling. One coming out of the.
So Ms. Lopez showing that she is the star performer in that under 13 girls, all of them from the same club, Rig Texonics, but she, of course, is the one carrying the torch right now. She won earlier, and she repeated as champions here as well. So 2-2 for her, so she would have capped off a beautiful day for herself, and I'm sure she's looking forward to more of the same come tomorrow when we have the second night of action here at Skinner Park, starting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Always something to look forward to as well. So we have these riders, the under 13 boys. 9 of them at the line, and we of course see we have the 2 youngsters out of Barbados, and here they go again. Another rider just wiped away as the race started, and not his fault. I think the rider in front of him just basically blocked him off.
Of the JLD Academy out in front, followed closely by Jonathan Henry of Internacional. Vaporweight Multisport also battling in there, but it is Elijah Green Jr. of the JLD Cycling Academy taking top honors that time around.
So Elijah Green Jr. showing that he's, as I say, taking a cue from his old man and showing how capable he is. But again, it's just an unfortunate spill at the very start. Look at the rider in the second from right, and the one third from right. The one third from right from Internacional unfortunately lost the handle on his bike as he was pulling there, trying to get in. Now he was leaned on, so he pulled over to his left, and he just wiped out the youngster from Arima Wheelers. Luckily, he kept his balance and was able to get back on track, and his variant to the left might have been caused by the rider to his right. And again, it's inexperience, and it's about learning and growing and understanding what the sport requires in the different phases, and the start is a crucial part of it all. And as you could see there, things can happen at the very start of the race if one or more of the riders cannot handle the close proximity of the other riders. So you have to kind of hold your lane. So you have to hold your bike. We know everybody is pulling hard, trying to get up to speed quickly, but you still have to manage the bike. And I think that will only come with practice and repetition. And it's just unfortunate that he might have caused somebody else a chance in the race. But it's all, like I say, it's all part of the learning curve for these youngsters. And I'm sure they will laugh about it in the end when they look back at it. And but as long as they learn from it, and that the person who fell down didn't suffer any kind of serious injuries other than maybe a little bruised pride, that he never even got to compete in the race. After his first couple of pedals, whoop, there he goes down on the track. So, but he seems to be okay. So hopefully everything is okay with him, and that he will be happy to continue on in due course. So best of luck to them all. Now we have the Tiny Mites men. They're going to do a 4-lap event. As they going all the way up in the distance, that they're starting them from a little bit further up the track. So we looking at, they're still giving out some prizes in the middle as well. For those are the riders who would have already succeeded 1, 2, 3 in their particular event. But now it's onto this one, just in front of that bleachers there at the northern end of the track and the northwestern end of the track. So they just waiting here. A little prize distribution is taking place. The El Samaru is in third place. Zion Polido of Trinidad and Tobago in second place. Zion. And the Silva of Brazil is in first position. So here the riders go. As they start immediately, as they come around the track, while Pereira of Brazil picks up his award.
The cyclist out of Overload Challenge. That looks like J.E. Francis is out in front as they are coming for the bell. The cyclist out of JLT Academy attempting to make a run to the outside, but we have a Rima Wheelers also in. It's still all together, and Rima Wheelers is driving. Look at the speed of the cyclist from the east. It is the cyclist out of Arima Wheelers, number 265, Cafile Desamore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis from FCB.
So that's Gizmo of Arima Wheelers showing what strength he has, because you could see him really pushing. Once they got the bell, he was in second place, but he rounded the man ahead of him quite easily. And once he got in front, he just started to open up a nice little gap and cruised home with a fine victory in the end. So a fantastic ride there for the Tiny Mites. So originally we had him going 4 laps, so they ended up going 2 laps, as well as we tried to speed up the proceedings, and Young Gizmo getting the applause from an appreciative crowd here, because they're seeing the quality of his riding. And up next we should get a 1-lap event, a 500-meter race rather, for Tiny Mites and juvenile ladies. So this too could be an interesting one for these youngsters. Many of them, of course, live for these type of events where you could just kind of put your foot down and just pedal to the metal, as they say, and push. So as you start, you're racing, and you don't have any. Invariably, it's if you make a mistake early, it's hard to get back in an event like this. Now, it depends on the speed of the riders around you. If they're not that much quicker than you, then you may get an opportunity to climb back in the event. But if not, then it's a tough scenario. Once you fall behind, it's difficult to get back up to speed. So it's important that you get a good start, and you just start pushing on from there. And it seems as if this rider had a camera on her bike, and they had to kind of take that off the handlebar. So you look at the riders, the different wheels, seeing the ones with the kind of orange trimming, the rim, and then those sleek tires. You look at the frame, you're not seeing any kind of disc wheels there. And the disc wheels with a breezy track like this can actually cause some problems for the riders, because the wind is blowing across the track. And so that could prove very difficult for them to handle their bikes at this time. So they're ready in this one. It's the 500 meters for women, for juvenile Tiny Mites ladies.
In this event, we have Kylie Young, Rayan Shepard, and that is number 221, Cairo Williams, is out in front.
Points, Tobago. Points,
Hospitales, Cairo, Ariel Prix, Bernard. Will they be able to catch Cairo Williams? I don't think so. It's the cyclist out of Vaporwave Multisport, Cairo Williams, unofficially in that 500-meter final.
We can't change that. We can't. It's
So another fine ride here from Kyla Williams from Vaporwave, showing that she has not lost any of her speed from earlier, and clubbing the field yet again to complete another fine victory and make it a double success for her this evening. Not the first person to have 2 wins already on this track this evening, so she's kept off a fine evening for herself here, and I'm sure she'll be happy with that. She'll be all smiles as well. So we're getting ready for another event. So quickly, they're moving them, the juvenile men. They originally were going at a 6-lap event, but I think the organizers have cut down a lot of these races. So we see exactly how many laps they are bringing it down to. Seeing Garth Watley just walking on the inside there with the Trinidad Express fame. Taking in the cycling action up here. Kwame Lawrence is also up here as well. Also from the Trinidad Express newspaper, as well as several other media houses reporting and capturing the images. But we're glad you're joining us here on 360 TV for our live from Skinner Park in San Fernando. And there they go for a rolling start. And this one. And immediately they get the whistle.
That is the juvenile men.
the UCI. Madison, Omnium,
4 laps for the juvenile men.
under me. Okay? Okay. Yeah. No problem. I don't know where. I do all the masters.
All right,
All of them done.
4 laps.
You sure it's 4? For juvenile men.
Yeah.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at your program, we have cut down the amount of laps. Wow, look at that rider making a very fast move. Coming over the top. Coming to see 2 laps to go. Riding for PSL, looking very good indeed. Number 2,
Who's there?
something.
Where is she?
249, Tristan Jaichan. He's been swallowed up,
Yeah.
but he's in second position as they make another move. It looks like Arima Wheelers from here. It is Arima Wheelers, Jaichan in second position. Number 245 leading as they go around. Ryan Lewis is looking an open road. But look out for the rider in second position. Will he be able to come around? Open road leading. Open road driving it home. Open road, the number 247. Hold on, that's not follow his name. Kyle.
Kyle Hospitales there from Open Road, doing very well indeed to come over and win that one. He just blew past the rider from Arima Wheelers, who took the bell in front and looked like he was going to set himself up nicely, but that was quickly squashed And once the train came, he was nowhere to be found. And it was just a matter of who would get to the line first. And Carlos Vidales certainly did. And this is the kind of night we're having. We did anticipate a full moon, but it's a full moon behind a little cloud cover. And I'm not sure if that is rain cloud or what it is, but something is just obscuring the view for the moment. But it's a nice cool night here at Skinner Park. There's a nice breeze that is blowing across the venue. And we no doubt look forward to that as well. So as we continue on here, we have another junior women event. Just 2 riders. We have Jamaica and Arima Wheelers. Arima Wheelers won this event earlier. And Alexia Wilson also put her name on winner's row. And will this be another Arima Wheelers success? Jamaica, of course, it's all part of development, so even though you don't win, just the experience of traveling to a foreign country, sleeping on a different bed, all that comes into factor.
Who is this? Junior women? Yeah, junior women.
Jamaica on the outside, Trinidad on the inside. One left to go. That's a build-up. Arima. Wheelers still on the inside. Accelerating down the back straightaway. It's Wilson leading. Wilson leading. Will she be able to hold off this time? Here comes the Jamaican trying to rush over the top. Wilson will hold off James of Jamaica. And the women.
Again, another victory for Alexia Wilson, doing it very, very convincingly. James of Jamaica not able to keep up with her. So Jordan James unable to come over the top to catch up with Alexia Wilson. So that's 2-2 for Alexia Wilson. She caps another fine evening here for her. And then we're going to have an elimination event for International and Elite Women. That's always an interesting event. All of the elimination, or what we commonly call the devil take the hindmost. And what it means essentially is the devil catches you when it catches the last wheel to cross the line as the riders go around. So you're looking at young Lopez again, climbing up the prize rostrum. She's at the very top in first place. There's one missing to second place, but it was 1, 2, 3 for Rigtech Sonics. And I think they're all looking around to see if their clubmate is going to join them on the podium any minute now. But it's a proud moment for them all the same. So congratulations to these youngsters. And like I said, this is just these young ladies. They're just planting seeds for them. And there you can see the third place, the third place finisher rather, now joining the fray. She probably was getting her bike or something organized over in the distance, but she's here to collect a medal. And I'm sure she's happy. It's all Rigtech Sonics, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm sure they're happy with that. And they no doubt relish in these moments. It's one thing to ride and win the event. This is the other side of the action when you could actually climb the prize rostrum and pick up the medals to show for it. And a lot of these riders over the years would have received huge amount of medals to put in their collections. And so this is just another one, as they say, to add to those collections for them. So this is an integral part of an event like this, where you receive the rewards for your hard work and for winning or placing in the top 3 in your event on the night. So congratulations to all of the winners so far. We still have quite a few races to go, including the elite and international women, an elimination event, or devil take the hindmost. We've seen a couple more riders join in the fray. Trinidad and Tobago with 2 riders already up there. So Ryan Shepard from Arima Wheeler is receiving awards at the prize rostrum. So a couple more riders, more international women joining the fray here. And the devil is always a spectacular event. Mexico and you look at the size of the foreigners. They look so much bigger than the local girls. Local riders tend to be more svelte. They are streamlined a different way, similar to what Tennille Campbell looks like among the big international riders. They look so much bigger than she is. They're obviously more powerful. And as you see, the riders just getting their final bit of instructions. Remember, some of them are from Spanish-speaking islands, so they have to get the translation right. But all's well, it looks like. So they're getting a free lap. And this free lap is fairly quick, no doubt. And so they're taking it seriously. Again, you'll have to look in to see how does Trinidad and Tobago, how do the riders position themselves during the race so that they could strike when it matters the most. That's all part of the strategy, part of the technical awareness of the riders, but it's also part of the strength of the riders. Here they come for the whistle to start this event, and immediately there is a rush at the front.
Numbers.
Elimination. Easy elimination. 448, China Y, Trinidad and Tobago. Not easy. 410, 410. Brazil, 410, 410. Listen to me. We have no. Two or four.
Nika Paul Payne.
Nika Paul Payne. What is he? But
That's one of the front.
neutralized until we get the rider out. The race is going to be neutralized until we get the rider out. On the outside, cannot see the number. The race has been neutralized until we can get the rider out from Brazil. Can we have somebody from Brazil come and help us out, please? Still in?
Well, it seems as if there's a little confusion. One of the riders had been eliminated, but now they're going to have to call the whole race because she is not listening or she's not aware that she has been called out. And she stayed in the race for about 3 laps since she was officially called out. In fact, we had one other rider eliminated since. And so now I think they're going to start over with the eliminations from this lap again.
Ronald, no buzz to these riders.
1-1-4-1-1. You
Not the international with that.
eliminated.
Nothing.
4-11.
I can't call them out to you.
Eliminated. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
please.
Very easy elimination this time around. 4-4-7. Phoebe Sandy. 4-4-7. You eliminated. Thank you. Thank you so much.
415. Anna Costella. No. Hey, wait.
Adios. This is the prize giving
Bell
you
no. Bell no. Bell no. Final. Bell! Hey, ring the bell. 414. If we scream it at you to... Amanda, 414. Amanda Canal. As they are sprinting, don't ring nothing. Don't ring the bell. This is the final, and this is going to be for the winner. Number 421 takes the victory. 413 gets eliminated. Wendella Rodriguez.
So Mandela Rodriguez getting the job over a teammate there, the pair from Brazil in that white bodysuit, and coming out on top. The elimination proving to be a little bit of a challenge there, especially with the international riders not obeying the instructions, especially since those instructions are not coming in Spanish or Portuguese in the case of the Brazilian riders. So it's always a bit of a challenge to put them to here, but I think there are monitors that are placed on the handles of the bikes, and riders, when they are close to being eliminated, that will light up on their handlebars to indicate to them that they have been eliminated. So sometimes it's up to the rider to understand what is happening and to make sure that they cooperate with the authorities. So the elite and international women's elimination, now we have an international men's 10-lap event. So Trinidad and Tobago to be well represented here as well. And so we get to see Adam Alexander in his element here. Now he's the elder statesman in this team, trying to guide the youngsters, but I don't think he's in the kind of form that he would like to be. We've seen Adam in much better form over the years, but his role is not so much as a finisher here, but he's probably the one trying to set up the races for his younger charges. Maybe a Polido or Tariq Woods, one of them, to try to claim a victory here. So it's going to be interesting to see how they position themselves. We have two local riders at the very back of the race, two Jamaicans just ahead of them. One Trinidadian, I think one Bajan, Barbados, riding in a strange color, a red top. We have Suriname, then Trinidad and Tobago, another two riders, another three Trinidad and Tobago riders there, plus another Barbados rider in the mix as well. And so they're nicely spaced out, and they're going to roll around for this 10-lap, the start of this 10-lap event. If it stays 10-lap, we'll see. But as it is right now, the riders, they have a free lap. So I'm sure they would have spoken about strategy and positioning, and of course, right in the race itself, that is always important. You have to kind of look at what the opposition's doing, who's doing what in the race, and this race is long enough where a strategy, a plan is going to come into effect. Here we go with the whistle to start things off.
Lewis in second place, on entry. First place, Prix Junior.
I guess you work less I have for international. I'm telling me, that's not my business.
So we have Trinidad and Tobago out in front early o'clock, they come around, trying to lead them out.
Solly riding under the Solly in second position. Is on.
Okay.
Wadili of Suriname at the front, and we have Sutherland of Solly riding for Solly out of Barbados, Jamaica. Also
Falling very quickly to the front. First place, Happily Desamo of Arima Wheelers.
So Boyd of Jamaica leading him around. Solly of Barbados in second position as they go around. Anderson, it looks like might be in third. I'll correct that as they come around. In third position, number 407, and that's sitting very quickly in the peloton, and they go down the back straight away. Riders coming for 5 laps to go.
According to the prize, the winners and in first place,
Edwin Sunderland of Team Stolly out of Barbados still leading as they come around. We'll be coming to see 4 laps to go. It's going to wind up, it's going to get hot. Gerald Mohammed of Trinidad and Tobago moving into second position. Coming back to see 3 laps to go. This is the International Men 10-lap event. Still Sutherland leading. Repte finding room on the inside and go to the front, but he's being followed by the Jamaican rider, number 426, that's Jerome Forrest is now. As he's down straight away. Liam right there with him, Edwin Sunderland of Barbados, Team Stolly, Adam Alexander also in the mix. As they see 2 laps to go, it is the Forrest leading Repte. From Sunderland, Alexander. Jamal Eastman looking for room. It is still Repte from Trinidad and Tobago. Adam Alexander leading Trinidad and Tobago. Akil Campbell on the wheel. The right one is Jamal Eastman. It's Alexander from Campbell. Trinidad and Tobago. 1-2. Campbell from Alexander. Campbell from Alexander. Campbell from Alexander. Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen. Jamal Eastman, Team Stolly.
What a fine ride there from, that's good team riding there from Trinidad and Tobago. Look at how they just kept Sunderland out, Jamal Eastman rather, kept him out. They didn't give him any lanes at all. He couldn't pass on the inside, he couldn't pass on the outside, and he had no room in the middle. So he just had to back off there, and that's good team riding. Trinidad and Tobago closing the gap, much improved from their earlier ride, showing that it was, and again, as I said, Adam Alexander is not there to win these races, but he's there to set it up for Trinidad and Tobago using all of his experience to help the younger ones, and Akil Campbell showing that he does have the legs. Even though he's better known as an endurance rider, he does have sprinter's ability, just like his sister, Tennille Campbell, does. So they can fluctuate between sprinting and the endurance races, omniums and other events like that, scratch races. And so you're seeing the quality of this young man, and no doubt he has such a bright future ahead of him. And what an occasion it could be if both Tennille and Akil could qualify for the Olympics in Paris next year. And that's not an impossibility, folks, given the form that Akil Campbell has been in. As I said, he's just coming off a win in stage 3 at the Jamaica International Classic not too long ago, a week or so ago. And here he is again showing on his home soil that he is in the pink of form right now. So a fine, fine ride by Trinidad and Tobago, 1-2 with Team Scully of Barbados, with Jamal Eastman filling 3rd place. Now we get the Elite 2 elimination event coming up. A pretty good group. Just about 12 or so riders in this elimination event. And if we're going down to 2, to the last 2, so we'll have roughly 10 eliminations when it's all said and done. So these youngsters, I'm sure, are going to be keen to stay out of harm's way. And they're going to get the whistle. So there will be an elimination the next time around.
Calling to the prize distribution area, Jordania James of Jamaica and Alexia Wilson of Arima Wheelers.
First elimination. 162. Mark Joseph, thank you. Coming for another. $167 PSL. Tinto. Coming for another.
It's bad. Let's just put it to the woman as we have
Mr. Bacchus, 346. For another. One, two, six. 126. Chapman. One five four. 154. Using lane 8 on the inside.
He should have gone a long time.
154. D'Angelo Harris. D'Angelo Harris. 154. D'Angelo Harris.
That's not D'Angelo. Quickly on the prize rostrum, we have Jordania James of Jamaica in second place and Alexia Wilson of Arima Wheelers in first place in the junior woman one-lap event.
Ainsley Gay, 154. Ainsley Gay, 154. Ainsley Gay, no elimination this lap around. Yeah, but it was my fault. It didn't come out. No. Elimination this time around. Nobody behind number 135. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks very much.
Another elimination coming around. Number 153. 153, Darian Pereira. 153, thank you very much. Elimination. Easy. 191 should not even be able to start this race with this number bit on wrong. Akokela, you need to report to the chief judge. Elimination. Easy elimination. Portuguese, number 133, and he will take bronze.
Justin Williams.
Justin Williams pulling away. Looking very good indeed. Justin Williams, he will take a gold medal. And this is the Elite 2 elimination. Justin Williams driving into the line. Second position will go to South Lane. Troy Nelson, Madonna Wheelers, my apologies. Did not know that Troy Nelson was still riding.
I never know.
But what a ride by Joel Williams.
So Joel Williams showing his capabilities there, and Justin Williams rather, winning that event and winning it quite handsomely in the Elite 2 elimination for male riders. And again, these are the ones who are just under the Elite 1, because most times the national selection comes out of Elite 1 category. So to go along with other riders who are probably based overseas or riding competitively on the international circuit. And so you mix them with the Elite 1 riders, but the Elite 2 riders are not too far off, some of them. And so they, with a win like that, who knows, you might get invited to the curtain event later on this evening at 33 lapper. So we'll see how it goes. So we have now an 8-lap event for Elite 1 riders. And so this is what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. These are the riders who might have just missed out on a national team selection, maybe by a couple of points, as the case may be, or they just didn't get the results during the trials or the warm-up meets, and as a result they didn't get into the national team. But it's not to say that they don't have capabilities. In fact, some of these riders may start as Elite 1 riders, but before the weekend is out, may very well find themselves in national colors. So it's left to be seen. So I think this is a crucial race for some of these riders, and if they show form, who knows, by Sunday they could be in the red, white and black, or even as early as tomorrow, depending on how this race goes for the Elite 1 riders. And I say that, but that's not just for Trinidad and Tobago riders. Some other countries may be addressing their selectors as well. So there is the whistle.
We also have Samuel Maloney of Team DPS, Stephen Alexander of Raiders Cycle and Multisport. It's Devontae Lawrence in there as well. I'll have to see Maurice Burnett riding for Team Stoley out of Barbados. Also in the mix,
Who giving out the prizes?
Gypsy.
What's his real name?
Winston Gypsy Peters,
And he is what?
chairman of the National Carnival Commission. Coming to see 2 laps to go. Number 117, that's Enrique de Camamon. Samuel Maloney is right there with him. Joshua Alexander as well is in the mix for Team Raiders. Maurice Burnett is sitting 4th wheel. Very dangerous indeed.
As we move to the prize after this, we'll move to the prize.
And that's the bell. Enrique de Camamon from Joshua Alexander, from Maurice Burnett. As they go down the back straight. And the base is up, but it's still Enrique de Camamon from Alexander. They are coming for the line, and it's going to be an all-out sprint. Very close to second and third. Come on.
So another tight finish there, and even after the riders go around the track It's still the speed. They have to be able to control the speed. Here is Alexander trying to come around. They come around, holding on, and look at the speed building up there, and just not able to get to the line in time there for that third place finish. Youngster out of Team Scully out of Barbados. He's a Trinidadian riding for the Team Scully out of Barbados outfit, trying to get up there to secure third place. Was hoping for second, but I think Alexander just held on for second place overall. So again, these races are being chopped down. That was originally an 8-lap event. I think they only went 3 for that Elite 1 category. We have the junior men. I'm almost certain their event will also be trimmed by a few laps. Remember, tomorrow the Karen event is going to be on full display. So that is always an exciting event. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago was represented at the Olympic Games in the Karen with the pair of Quincy Brown and Nicholas Paul. So here, Trinidad and Tobago, their junior team. And again, it's a big bolt here. Trinidad and Tobago caught napping here. And now they have to try to play catch up. Team DPS putting the squeeze on. And again, it's how many laps the Trinidad and Tobago team eventually pulling things back. PSL really, mashing up the bunch. And Trinidad and Tobago again on the attack. The national junior team showing good form at the moment as they keep the pace up, keep the tempo up, and by doing that, they're kind of burning the legs of the opposition. But they're nicely bunched here again. Trinidad and Tobago still with good numbers up. And again, once they ride as a team, they can cause some real problems, because as it is right now, there's no escape for the other riders, because the Trinidad and Tobago team, they have all the lanes occupied up front, and here their superior fitness is showing as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Trinidad and Tobago on the move here, really spreading it out and coming home quite convincingly again. The TNT junior team, impressive indeed, as they again showing that the Junior Commonwealth Games is going to be something special, and they are hoping to be a part of it, and hoping, no doubt, to do Trinidad and Tobago proud at that event. So they, no doubt, very excited as well, but here they come to get the appreciation from the crowd. Red, white, and black. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 crossing the line. And quite exciting indeed for these riders and these junior riders, showing that they are more than capable of making the country proud. So again, we're getting ready for the Masters, the 2-lap event, 70 plus. So this is always, this is their final ride for the evening. So again, riders are going to be taking this event very seriously indeed. They had a taste earlier on today when there might have been a little sun about the place. So now that they've had a breather, and it's cooler, who knows, maybe they will speed up the process. When I say speed up the process, I mean the actual racing itself for them. But you have to understand, 70 plus, most of these riders is purely for recreational purposes they're riding. But when they get a chance to compete, no doubt, it's bragging rights at stake also. So let's go trackside to hear the action, how the action unfolds.
Yeah.
A very two-lap event for the Masters 70 plus. And that's the bell. That's the bell. Henry.
Right there, the 70 plus completing their event, and no doubt, I'm sure they're thrilled with the fact that they were able to compete successfully here this evening, and enjoying the occasion here at Skinner Park. It's Easter Grand Prix racing, and always a big occasion for these riders. And of course, after the 70 plus, we're getting ready for the 60 to 69 riders. Roy Daniel, of course, in the mix there as well. So we've seen 2 laps to go for these riders. The 60 to 69 riders now getting ready for their event. As they get their instructions from the race commissaire. So these riders, no doubt, at the ready as they get a rolling start for proceedings here. And they get the whistle to set them on their way.
Henry and them, as young as them know them too close on that line. Them know them too tight on that line. They gotta do something different about that. Them boy can't fall on whole weekend. I don't know what they could do this. I don't know.
And that's the bell for the Masters. That's the Masters 60 plus. Clyde Pollinaire, El Gonzalez, Joel Brown, Martin Walwood, Wayne Samuel, Walter Paul, James Joseph, Christian Grant, and Cyril Book. But who will it be? Who will it be? It's going to be a sprint for the line. Evolution. That is James Joseph, it looks like. Number 500 as I
So again, these riders again showing their capabilities, and quite impressive riding indeed as they sort of turn back the clock here a little bit. And this is always the beauty of these riders coming out here and showing that they're still capable of one or two good performances. They may not be able to produce it all the time, but when they get it right, it looks so impressive indeed. So again, we're live here on 360 TV, and again, we encourage you to stay with us throughout the weekend as we bring you up to speed on all the events happening here at the Easter Grand Prix. This is day one as we're winding down the opening day of this event as they get the whistle. It's a two-lap event, so they'll be coming back for the bell immediately.
Rocky Hossain, Marlon Joseph, Roger Simon, an exciting field. And taking the bell, we have number 352, Bert Montes. Look at the speed of Rocky Hossain. Rocky Hossain of the Hummingbird International, driving it down the back, chased closely by Ron Greaves. Will he be able to catch before the line? What a ride! What a ride by our masters.
So Ron Graves showing there that he still has it in the legs. Rocky Hossain seemed to think that he had this one all sewn up. But the man from Hummingbird didn't cater for the Richtec Sonic Bullet. Came over the top and won this one clearly, and winning it in impressive fashion indeed. So a big win there, of course, for him. And we have another Masters event upcoming. Another two-lapper, 40 to 49 Masters. So the crowd, they have stayed on in the main. Not many of them would have left, even though but it's early evening here at Skinner Park in San Fernando, just approaching 9 p.m. And I'm sure many of them, if not all of them, would have been thoroughly happy. They did have that little delay because of a power outage that we suffered here at Skinner Park, but we're happy to say that the power was restored, the lights came back up, and we've been able to continue to finish the first night of action here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. The spanking new Skinner Park in San Fernando, I might add. So again, we're looking at the riders getting ready to complete their event. So it is always a great pleasure. Well, remember, we here at 360 TV are only too thrilled to be able to bring you this event, but the Cycling Federation would also like to thank the likes of Blue Waters, Subway, KFC, Pennywise Cosmetics Limited, ABC Home Center, they do it best, and of course Digicel, a big sponsor, Cole and Associates Engineered Safety Systems Limited, the NLCB, I-95.5 FM, Angostura, First Citizens, the NGC, Southwest Regional Health Authority, Venture Credit Union, the City of San Fernando, WAC Radio 90.1 FM, We Are Culture Crazy, SM Jalil, and of course Richtec Services Limited. So here they come. Brilliant finish here. Now they come for the bell. And the race is on. It's going to be interesting to see how they can hold their positions here now. Right on the inside. It's always tough to pass on the inside, but he does got a little bit of riding room, so he could come over the top now. Does he have the legs? Does he have the power? He does. Easily coming over the top there and doing it well. Valkyrie Samuels again, and showing that he's in the form of his life right now. And doing it in impressive fashion. Coming over and really showing that he knows what he's doing. So we have the Elite 3 riders. Actually, we have the Elite and International ladies, the juniors, Elite and International ladies. So that was in fact the Elite 3 riders going over their 2-lap event. These ladies were originally scheduled to do 10 laps, and we'll see if they will keep them at 10. Here this evening, the racing has been excellent, and it's only going to get better as the event goes along, as riders get used to the track conditions, they get used to the level of the competition, and no doubt, I'm sure they'll be pressing on as the event moves along. So what a good Friday we've had spending with, hope you enjoyed it with us here at 360 TV. We're looking at the International ladies at the line for their 10-lap event. But all the races are being cut down now, so we will be able to tell you in a moment exactly how many laps. They're going 8 laps this time around, so they've cut it down from 10. So it's an 8-lap event. Jamaica has just joined, Trinidad and Tobago in a second from the back, as well as TNT in the front as well, of course, but the Brazilians are the ones to beat in this encounter. They have been really the ones leading the way in this this ladies international category, and it's only a question now, can they continue in this prolific vein that they've shown here so far this evening. And here they come again immediately, coming to the front of the race, trying to control the race from the front as they get the start. So that is the official start. When they come back, they'll see 7 laps to go. And they try to keep a nice clip of proceedings here. They're not stressing too much, but they're still keeping the pace up at a good enough tempo. So 9 of them in the mix at the moment. And you look at the Brazilians, they had one in front, the other one sort of backed off now. And we will see some movement in a short while from the other Brazilian riders. They share the workload, and they will no doubt try to wear down the opposition as much as possible. If I was one of the Trini girls, I would hug the wheels of the Brazilians, because they're the ones who right now are showing the kind of form as if they mean business. Mexico in there as well. So you have to factor them in at some point. And the Trinidad and Tobago ladies not really covering the early attacks, giving themselves an awful lot of work to do here now. As you look at the racers just opening up a gap here, these three out front. But here comes Trinidad and Tobago now with Brazil in hot pursuit here, trying to cover that attack and try to close them down as quickly as possible. The challenge though, when you do that, you spend that much energy, and as soon as you reconnect, sometimes somebody else launches an attack, and it's very difficult to respond to that. But now it's a group of 5 out in the front, trying their best to kind of turn over these laps as quickly as possible. And then there's the other 4. There is another group of 4 further back. Will they be able to come across? We'll wait to see. The Brazilian is holding that group back just that little bit. She has a teammate in front, so she knows that she doesn't have to bring them back as quickly as possible unless she herself has designs on winning the race, but she's letting other people carry the load right now, which is smart riding. She has a teammate in front, so she has the best of both worlds, so to speak. Trinidad and Tobago nicely positioned as they come back to see, 2 laps to go. And this is the business time now, so let's see how the Brazilian negotiates that. She's right back there. She's brought him right back. Trinidad and Tobago now needs to really be smart here now. Position is the critical part of this race. Brazil, they take the outside. So as they come there with 1 lap to go, all of a sudden Brazil right back in the thick of things and looking around, trying to see where her teammate is. And now the move is on. Just watch at the acceleration as they go, heading for home here now. This is going to be interesting. Can they make it out? They're still holding their form, and now the rush comes quickly. Can anyone get it out in time? No, they can't. Well ridden in the end. Hawaii and Sejagat for Trinidad and Tobago right there in the mix at the end, which is a much improved performance from them. And so I think the smarts, the intelligence on the bike is beginning to kick in here as they get a better understanding of their own fitness as well as that of the opposition. So a good result in the end. So again, Brazil all over. Again, riding in different team colors, but still one nation. And they obviously understand that the business at hand, and they're showing great form. And we anticipate that they will only get better as they get more comfortable under these conditions here in Trinidad and Tobago. And again, as we said, the crowd, they really stuck around to witness the proceedings. And now they're getting ready for the curtain event of the evening. A 33 lapper. I doubt very much the organizers will leave it at 33. They may cut it down, maybe to 25 laps. We will see. But it will be interesting to see how Trinidad and Tobago goes in this one. Again, we saw Adam Alexander position Akil Campbell to take a win earlier. And those two, I'm sure, will be at it again. Adam is very, very competent in the distance races. He's been racing professionally in the US for quite a number of years. Every so often coming back home and riding locally as well. And here he is in national colors once more, trying to shepherd the next generation of riders for TNT at the Easter Grand Prix here. This is only day one. It is coming to a close. So again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for making it possible for us here on 360 TV to be a part of the action, bringing it to you live from Skinner Park in San Fernando. Remember, tell your friends, log on early tomorrow evening. We'll be back here at 5 o'clock for more action. We do have the Karen Heats that will start proceedings from as early as 1 o'clock tomorrow evening. And once those riders qualify, they'll have a bit of a breather. And then at 5 o'clock, we will start the official program right back here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. The newly constructed Skinner Park. And we look at the riders on the track now. The international riders, Trinidad and Tobago again well represented. A couple of the riders with their disc wheels. We also have, and I think sometimes people may get confused, we have the riders out of the Scully team out of Barbados. They too are wearing a red top, but you could make out the Trinidad and Tobago riders with the white sleeves. Suriname also represented, Jamaica also represented here in this event as well. So another interesting battle looming. The international riders, I'm surprised they haven't invited some of the Elite One riders, or maybe they did, those who won their races earlier. So they may get a chance to compete against the international riders. So we'll wait to see exactly how many laps they are actually going to have the riders complete as we bring the curtains down on the opening night of action here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. I think there are a number of the Elite One riders who are out there as well, because you're looking at some of the club colors. You're looking at the PSL riders as well as DPS also in the frame. So it should be very interesting to wait to see exactly how many laps they're actually sending them. I know that I don't think it'll go down to 33, so I think they may just, it's a scratch race, but I'm not quite sure what the distance is, if they've reduced it to 25. So originally it's 33 laps, so they could reduce it. They have been reducing all the events lately because of the time that power outage that we had earlier. That kind of substituted as the intermission, and the organizers have decided they're going to go right through once they got back the lights, and so said, so done. So here we are. So getting ready for another big one. So they might have reduced it to a 20-lap event. So that is going to go even faster. I'm not sure if they have any preems in there, but it looks like it's going to be a 20-lap event with a few of Category 1 Elite 1 riders thrown in to the mix with the international riders. So we're looking at the riders just making their laps around the track, getting into position. It doesn't seem as though they're ready to start, so the riders will just be rolling around the track here. But what we have seen already are some interesting riders. We saw the BMXers put on their display. We saw the Masters also on display here and impressing everyone. And the fans, of course, enjoying it all. They saw some of those little BMXers really gutsing it out. They might not have won, but they won the hearts of the spectators. Many of them just, I suppose, amazed by the courage shown by some of these young riders, because it's brave for them to even get on the track, and then even if they're not in a position to win, it's so easy to give up. But they saw these youngsters still pushing, trying to complete the event, not giving up at all, and no doubt winning the hearts of the spectators here at Skinner Park in San Fernando. So we just about getting ready for the final event. I'm not quite sure what the delay is, but the riders are just rolling around on the track. They've been out there for some time now. And so before too long, we should be getting this particular race started. So that will bring the curtains down on the opening night. Remember, we'll be back here again tomorrow for more action. And we certainly want to encourage you again to join us and be a part of the action. Of course, we also want to salute the National Lotteries Control Board, Bike In, Nucor, New Iron Limited, Natco, Blue Waters, KFC, Subway, First Citizens, SM Jaleel, Rapid Print Limited, Digicel, Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago, Angostura Limited, Holiday Food Snacks, Sunshine Snacks, the National Flour Mills, Bermudez, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, WAC 90.1 FM, Culture Crazy, I-95.5, Cole and Associates, Pennywise Cosmetics Limited, Venture Credit Union, Rigtech Services Limited, the Southwest Regional Health Authority, the San Fernando City Corporation, Chutu's Hardware, ABC Home Center, Novelty Bishop, PBS Technologies, and Extra Foods Limited. So congratulations to all of them, and we hope they continue to support the sport of cycling and sport in general in Trinidad and Tobago. So I think they're beginning now to just to line up the riders as we get ready for the start. I think they're going 20 laps in this one, and that should go by fairly quickly given the proficiency of some of these riders. And not to mention the speed of some of these riders as well. Keep your eyes out for the Brazilians. They are really a tough bunch. The Silva, Capriano, right there, Jamal Eastman of Barbados, riding for the Team Scully. And so they're in the red strips. You see the Trinidad and Tobago, you see the rider from DPS in the front. Then you see 3 Trinidad and Tobago riders. Then you see the rider from Scully. They look like there are 2 of them, 3 of them right there as well. Then the Trinidad and Tobago riders, the distinction, of course, while they're also wearing red tops, Trinidad and Tobago has those white sleeves, those long sleeves in white. So that will be the distinction. And then, of course, we have open range. Jamaica comes next. Suriname also in the mix there as well. And so it's another opportunity here for these riders to come forward and show their wares here in this, the final event of the evenings are being handed out on the inside. So these riders now will make a lap, 20 laps for this one. So when they come around, they'll see 20 laps to go as they come around to start the curtain event. It's always a race that they look forward to because the international riders bunched with some outstanding Class 1 Elite 1 riders, or Category 1 riders as we call them. So, and they would want to show the national riders what they're capable of. So here they come. As they come around now, they're getting ready for the official start of this event. So there is the whistle to start the event here this evening.
This is the Grand Prix 23. Enrique de Camamon going to the front immediately. He's been followed by Edwin Sutherland. Number 436 of Trinidad and Tobago, Tariq Woods, also in the mix. Also right there for Trinidad and Tobago. Out of Barbados, riding for Team Stolly. That is Jamal Eastman. Campbell makes an early move with 18 laps to go.
Big fans to this guy.
Eastman makes his move, riding for Team Stolly out of Barbados. Akil Campbell, number 438, for Trinidad and Tobago. Being chased down by the Bajan rider, riding for Team Stolly. That is Jamal Eastman. Jamaica bringing it back.
We call this number for Price. 619.
Campbell goes on the move again. Come on, trying to bring up
Just hold on one moment. These young ladies will assist.
the peloton. Eastman will not work with Campbell, and the Camamon will bring them all back together. In the mix, number 409, Liam Trepte now going to the front of the peloton and pulling away very quickly indeed, being followed on the right from Team Stolly. Out of Barbados, that's Edwin Sutherland. Rider out of the US trying to close the gap. Sorry, out of Peru. Luis Gonzalo of Peru. He now goes wide and they head down the back straightaway. Go ahead.
Brandon Herrera, Marlon Scott, Corey Samuel, Benita Rodriguez, Camila Angulo, and Anna Carata to the prize. This is the area. Thank you.
Dominic Howard of Barbados bringing up the rest of the peloton. Edwin Sutherland now going on the move. Howard will go with him. Sutherland goes wide. Howard decides to go it alone. Number 436 of Trinidad and Tobago, Tariq Woods. Adam Alexander now making a move for Trinidad and Tobago, but he's been followed closely by the rider from Team Stolly out of Barbados. That is Jamal, no, I'm sorry. That is rider from Trinidad and Tobago riding for Team Stolly. Maurice Burnett, thank you. So it's Alexander and Burnett, and they have opened a sizable gap as they come around to see 10 laps to go. It is still Adam Alexander from Burnett. Burnett will not work with Alexander. They come on, they're leading the peloton as they split up. Seeing 10 laps to go. A lot of heat, a lot of fire Trinidad and Tobago have been on the attack from the start of this event, and now it's with Adam Alexander and Burnett. Burnett riding for Team Stolly, being sponsored out of Barbados. Dario Pereira trying to bring back the peloton. Riders coming back to see 8 laps to go. Just about half lap in front of the peloton. It is still Alexander from Burnett. The rider from Peru, number 48, now going to the front. Luis Gonzalo of Peru. Still Alexander leading with 7 laps to go. Burnett holding on, it looks like, for dear life. Gonzalo bringing back the rest of the peloton, and nobody wants to help him with the work, but there goes one rider. We'll try and get them back. It is still Alexander from Burnett. The rest of the peloton is chasing hard, and it's only 6 laps to go. 2 minutes ago, we had 20 laps to go. We are down to 6. Gonzalo of Peru, once again at the front, driving it very hard indeed, trying to close that gap. Some of the riders can take the heat of Skinner Park. That is this main event. Burnett has come to the front. Alexander has decided to pull up and wait with 5 laps to go. It is still anyone's race. Tariq Woods picks up the chase.
Right.
As he leads them around, they're coming to get 4 laps to go. Four laps to go. Adam Alexander goes on again. And he is hitting the rest of this peloton as he goes down the back straightaway. Tariq Woods of Trinidad and Tobago now comes to the front once again with only 3 laps to go.
Only want people to see the distribution on that.
Tariq Woods going back to Trinidad and Tobago. Peru has not been out of the top 5, and he is right there with them as well. Coming for 2 laps to go. Two laps to go, and Team Stolly to make a move. Team Stolly has decided to make their move. Skinner Park, it's 1 lap to go. Akil Campbell of Trinidad and Tobago. Here comes Jamal Eastman. Akil Campbell, Trinidad and Tobago. The boy from Brazil, San Fernando, his home track. Akil Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.
Akil Campbell there showing what form he's in at the moment. Certainly a splendid ride indeed. And as I said earlier, he could sprint, but boy, he has energy in those legs. He's really a distance rider, and but he does have sprinter speed. He could keep his power, he could keep his speed for long periods, and you just got an example of it there. He was on the attack early. He just fell back momentarily. Adam Alexander, the team captain, took up the mantle, gave him the opportunity to rest at the back while he kept the pace up in front. And the strategy there, of course, is if the peloton didn't come back, then he and Burnett probably would have carried on, and Adam Alexander would have fancied his chances against Burnett there. But then once the peloton came back, Adam Alexander waited for them to come back, and once he got them back in, and got all the Trinidad and Tobago riders in the mix, he knew that he had that safety valve right there, and so said, so done. Tariq Woods also factored for a bit. In fact, he got Jamal Eastman to really burn his legs at one point in the race with just under 10 laps to go, and then it was left up to Akil Campbell to come forward. So great team strategy by Trinidad and Tobago, and they got the main riders to really use their energies earlier, and then when it mattered the most at the end, the strongest of the lot was Akil Campbell, and he was able to win with plenty in reserve, as they say. A fine ride, a fine team ride. For the second time tonight, we saw the Trinidad and Tobago team putting it together and coming out victorious yet again. Spare thought, though, for that man, Jamal Eastman, not giving up at all. Team Scully at one stage had all three riders on a train going around the track with just about 2 laps to go. But Campbell saw the train, and he got on the train, and then he got into position and was able to get to the line ahead of them. What a way to end the first night of action here at Skinner Park. We hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to your company again come tomorrow, when we'll have more action for you from Skinner Park from just about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Day 2, of course, it starts a little bit earlier than that with the heats for the Keirin event, but we will get that coming up a little bit later on when we have the Keirin Elite Women second round and the Elite Men second round, and that, of course, will set up the big one later on in the evening when we'll have the Keirin finals and for Elite Men and Elite Women just right after the intermission tomorrow night. So the Keirin will take center stage tomorrow. It's something to look forward to as well. So on behalf of the entire team here, all our cameramen who've been bringing you these wonderful pictures, of course my director here as well helping out, so we want to thank you so much and look forward to your company again come tomorrow evening. I'm Ruskin Mark, thanking you so much, and we look forward to your company come tomorrow as we continue our coverage here on 360 TV of the Trinidad and Tobago Cycling Federation's Easter Grand Prix, Blazing the Track.